Right, it's been quite a while since I've last recorded, and I think Thomas Cup is approaching, and I would really want to also share with you my thoughts on how things will turn out at the end. But anyway, this is just my opinion, my personal opinion, so uh, it is just for entertainment purpose. If you have your own thoughts, feel free to comment down below and I will respond to you. So this is the Thomas Cup draw. We have four groups as usual, and Group A, Group B, Group C, and Group D. This year's Thomas Cup will be taking place in Chengdu, China. More about that later, and why is it so significant. So let's go to Group A, and if you look at Group A, I think it is a very clear favourites. I mean, we have a very clear favourites to advance from Group A, which is mainly China and Korea. Canada may have some slightest amount of chance, provided that Brian Yang is performing, but other than that, it is really difficult for Canada and Australia to advance. Noting the depth, the relative depth of the strength of Team China and South Korea. If you look at China, they have so many strong players. If you look at all the players that they have fielded, you can see that all of them are actually in the top 20, in the world top 20 rank. So this shows how strong and the depth of Chinese squad is really amazing. For instance, if you look at the men's singles, they have Shi Yuqi, who has been showing excellent form this year, defeating Victor Axelsen and many other players, and making it into the semi-finals and the finals of the BWF Major World Tours this year. And not only that, we do also have Li Shifeng. I believe he was the last year's All England champion, and definitely very very strong player that we have. And also third and fourth singles are also not too shabby. Lu Guangzhou and Wen Hongyang definitely would be able to bring in the valuable third point for China if there is a need to play such match anyway. And their strength is not only just in the men's singles. If you look at the men's doubles, they have three formidable pairs in the name of the world number 3, current world number 3, once world number 1, Liang Weikeng and Wang Chang. And they also have another strong and experienced pair, Wu Xuanyi and Liu Yunchen, as well as the fast rising He Jiting and Ren Xiangyu. So they can just field any of this pair and they can defeat almost, in fact, every single pair of the world. So this is how strong China is, right? So undoubtedly they would be I can safely declare they would be the champion of Group A, right? Now the second placing group, I think definitely would be South Korea. Now South Korea has always been a team that is always slightly handicapped when it comes to Thomas Cup, simply because they have very strong men's doubles, right? Historically, they are very very strong double players. Unfortunately, they really need a very strong set of men's singles in order for them to seriously challenge for the Thomas Cup. If you look at the men's doubles, they have the world number 2 and also the reigning world champion, Seo Sung-jae and Kang Min-hyuk. I don't think I need to elaborate further on how good this pair is, but just a little bit of a dip in their form, as they were surprisingly eliminated in the first round of the Badminton Asia Championship a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, And other than that, for this, in terms of the second men's doubles, they do have Kim Won Ho, who can easily be paired with any of their other players to form a very strong men's doubles. So that is actually why South Korea is such an amazing men's doubles team, right? For example, Jin Yong, and they can just simply pair, and they will be able to give a very strong fight to any pairs of the world. But perhaps the absence of Na Sung Seong might be a little bit surprising to me, because he was the wow factor of the previous Sudirman Cup of South Korea. In terms of men's singles, as I mentioned, they are really struggling in this. They have been struggling in this category for quite some time. Their strongest men's singles still remains as John Hong Jin, who has his ups and downs, but in terms of mounting a serious challenge to the top players, I think he is still finding his footing. And they do have other singles players like Liu Gyu and Cho Gyun-yuk, but the only problem is that I think they would definitely struggle, because Thomas Cup is always favoring those with strong men's singles. And yeah, and later on I will also highlight another team which is also suffering the same fate as South Korea. So, and for the record, I forgot to mention that in the recent Badminton Asia Championship held in China, actually Li Shifeng of China has actually he made it to the finals, and so does Shi Yuqi, who made it into the semi-finals. So that shows how strong. And in fact, in terms of the men's doubles, the champion was actually Yang Wei Keng and Wang Chang, held in their home country, right? So definitely very strong team of China as always. As we go on to Group B, we also have two very clear favourites, namely Japan and Chinese Taipei. If we go back to Group B, I doubt that Germany and Czech Republic would be able to dispatch or dislodge Japan and Chinese Taipei from the top two finishing in Group B. But in Group B, unlike in Group A, where I can immediately identify China to be the champion of Group A, Group B is a little bit tricky, because Chinese Taipei has always been a dark horse. They have such a big pool of capable players, whether in men's singles, I would say especially in men's singles, you can see the likes of Zhou Tianchen, the strong veteran, still going strong at the age of 34. And they have Lin Junyi, who has been steadily progressing upward since last year. And they also have like Wang Zuwei, another veteran. But I would say that perhaps even Li Jiahao, right, who is yet another relatively young men's singles who is very capable of delivering the point for Chinese Taipei. And I would like to exceptionally mention Zhou Tianchen and Wang Zuwei. Both of these veteran players have still been showing some decent set of results, especially this year. And I really look forward to how they will perform. And in terms of men's doubles, the doubles department, they have the Olympic champ Li Yang and Wang Qilin, who has just missed out the spot for this upcoming Olympic in Paris, as they were ousted by Izzuddin and Josefe from Malaysia. Other than that, they do have another very strong doubles, Li Zhehui and Yang Po Suan, who has been showing some really good form, especially since end of last year. I think it's early this year. They have been blazing through many tournaments, reaching out the semi-finals and the finals. So they are definitely, perhaps I would argue, may even be a stronger pair than Li Yang and Wang Qilin. In terms of Liu Qingyao, he is missing his regular partner Yang Po Han, and perhaps they have brought in a mixed doubles player, Ye Hongwei, to perhaps spice up the team lineup and to create a surprise factor, right? Because Chinese Taipei is also another team who can just mix and match and produce a decent pair, right? So they definitely have what it takes to challenge Japan for the top spot. Well, Japan, I don't think I need to introduce much further. They always have this a rather balanced team. They have the 3Ks or the 4Ks, Kento Momota, Kenta Nishimoto, Kodai Naraoka, Koki Watanabe. The one missing is actually the Kanta Suniyama. I do understand why he was dropped, simply because he has not been having a great time, especially since the past 2 or 3 years. So definitely the top singles, Kodai Naraoka, may be a strong bet for them to nail the first point. Nishimoto is also a decently strong second men's singles as compared to other teams. Koki Watanabe would be another relatively young men's singles of Japan who can also deliver the goods. So they are fielding these 4, and Kento Momota, obviously, although he has recently announced his retirement, but given his experience and his calmness on court, I think if the match is to be decided via the third men's singles, I think Japan has a decent chance to actually edge out any team, not only just in Group B, right? In terms of men's doubles, they have the regular Takuro Hoki and Yugo Kobayashi, who can always be counted on to deliver a point. And in terms of the second men's doubles, Japan, I will view them to have a slight handicap. They could be at a slightly disadvantaged position because Akira Koga and Taichi Saito, well, they have been able to defeat some of the top players, but they are also struggling to beat many other top pairs in the world. So and Kenya Mitsuhashi and Hiroki Okamura they're still a relatively fresh pair, I would say, fighting at the top level competition in the world. So yeah, Japan this time around, still a strong, balanced team, but later on you will see that it is actually not my pick for this tournament. The contenders of Group C, definitely if you go back to Group C, you would be able to identify Indonesia and India as the strong contenders. So Indonesia, I don't think we need to introduce any further. They have very, very strong lineup of both men's singles and men's doubles. You can see Anthony Sinisuka Ginting, who is still at a tender age of 27, but has been really strong men's singles for Indonesia, followed by another player who is in the fiery form, the reigning champion of the All England as well as the Asia Championship, Jonathan Christie. So I would say they have two very strong men's singles who can already give Indonesia 2 points, right? 2 valuable points. Their third singles are also not too shabby. Chico Wadoyo, so another relatively strong third men's singles. And Indonesia this time around, I would also like to salute them for fielding their Alwi Farhan, a very very strong junior. If I'm not wrong, he was the a world junior champion. If I am not wrong, right? So anyway, very very strong set of men's singles, and if you look at the men's doubles, it is even stronger. You can see the likes of Fajar Alfian and Muhammad Adianto currently at number 7, but you don't need me to further introduce them. They have also another very strong former All England champion Bagas Maulana and Muhammad Shoaib Fikri, and another yet also very very strong pairs, Leo Rory Conando and Daniel Martin. But the only I would say pair that is missing in action this time around would be the likes of Daddies, Muhammad Hassan and Hendra Setiawan. But I don't think Indonesia need to be worried about their missing strong seniors, because they have more than capable 3 men's doubles teams here. So Indonesia is definitely as strong as always. In fact, I was rather surprised that they actually lost out in the finals 2 years ago to coincidentally India, right? Now India has been the dark horse. They were the dark horse of Thomas Cup 2022, but this time around I don't think they deserve the tag as a dark horse anymore. They are definitely one of the contenders for Thomas Cup. They have very strong men's singles with the likes of Laksha Sen, Srikant Kidambi, Pranoy, even Priyanshu Rajawat has also been showing some good form on and off, still at a very young age of 22. And Kiran George was is a little unknown to me, but I guess India with such a strong pool of talents for men's singles, I'm not surprised why they are fielding 5 men's singles in their team. And in terms of men's doubles, they can rely 100% on Chirag Shetty and Ranki Reddy, the brothers of destruction, the current world number 1 pair. And the only thing that is still weakening slightly the strength of India is definitely their second men's doubles. The likes of Arjun and Dhruv Kapila, and they have another Sai Pratik. So I am sure India is able to mount a challenge for this Thomas Cup, but they may not be a strong contender, right? As strong as Indonesia and even China. Now, if you look at the way I displayed the slide, you can see that there's another space, and yes, there's a reason. I am also not ruling out Thailand as one of the contenders of Group C. Now, if you look at their field, their lineup, you may be thinking that it's if you look at the ranking, they are in the double digits and triple digits, but Thailand has always been a dark horse, another dark horse who, yes, they may not have 5 very strong set of players, but when it comes to teams competition, they are just like South Korea. The players can suddenly transform into very very strong beyond their normal limits to play a very very strong match against any of their opponents. I really salute their mentality. Now, going back to their lineup, they have world champion Kunlavut Witisan, who will be spearheading the team. Well, his form has been up and has been down, but recently he has refound some of his footing. But yeah, he can deliver a solitary point, but still not a very strong guarantee. Now, other players, we do not know much, but as I said, they can definitely challenge, they can definitely stretch Indonesia and India to the maximum, right? Now, I'm quite surprised that the likes of Supak Jongko and Kedron, who were not considered in this lineup, that is one thing that I'm quite surprised, because they have also been they have shown their capability of defeating the likes of Liang Weikeng and Wang Chang in the recent times. So I'm quite surprised, but perhaps Thailand is more forward thinking. They would want to have more young players to have the experience and the feel of being in a Thomas Cup competition, right? So yeah, that is my take for Thailand. The other missing player, I think, would be Kantafong. Yes, Kantafong Wang Chaoren who is also missing, surprisingly. So anyway, Group C would have 3 contenders. Group D is, I would say, a group of death, simply because, yes, Denmark is a strong favourite to top the group. They have Victor Axelsen. They have very, very strong men's singles. Victor Axelsen, Anders Andersen, the reigning European champion. And they also have Rasmus Gemke, who is a very, very strong third men's singles, and also Magnus Johansson. They are up and coming young player. So Denmark traditionally strong in the men's singles department, and that is why they always have an edge in Thomas Cup, because 3 matches involve singles, right? So if they can nail all these 3, I think they can definitely go for the Thomas Cup. In terms of men's doubles, they would be they'll be sending Kim Astrup and Anders Gerrit Rasmussen, who, well, they have, it's quite surprising, at the age of 35, Rasmussen still can perform like no other player. So definitely very exciting pair. And they also rope in Frederik Sogard, Jesper Toft, and Matthias Christiansen, who is in the mixed doubles department, to perhaps form some scratch pairs. And this is definitely a wow factor for them. They would be banking on the 3 men's singles and probably 1 or even 2 men's doubles points. The second team would be Malaysia, but I wouldn't say that. I think the group topper would definitely be Denmark, but the second place would be a fight between Malaysia and Hong Kong, right? Simply because Malaysia, with Ng Ziong missing, would definitely be weak, much weaker in the men's singles department. Just like South Korea, Malaysia has always been suffering from this problem of having a relatively weak men's singles department. But they are fielding a very strong, not to say very strong, but a decent junior in the name of Justin Ho. So and they also have Cham Jun Wei, Lee Zijia for sure, and Leong Jun Hao to spearhead their team. So they are sending 4 men's singles player and 3 men's doubles. The doubles have always been not to say a safe deposit, but it's a must-win for Malaysia, right? With the likes of Aaron Chia and So Wee Yik, and Izzuddin and Kosofei, who has shown a very strong set of performance in the Indonesia Championship. and also Muhammad Haikal and Chong Hoon-Jian, a relatively junior and young pairing. So Malaysia, as always, they will need to depend on 2 points from the men's doubles department and 1 point from men's singles department to win a match. Now Hong Kong, I would say the dark horse of this tournament. They would definitely be banking on their 2 strong men's singles, Ng Ka Long and Lee Chok Yew, and potentially if the match goes to the 5th match, they also have a relatively strong 3rd men's singles in the name of Chan Yin Chak and also Jason Gunawan, very strong junior in the batch. I think I would say in the same batch of Alvi Farhan and Justin Ho. Definitely exciting to watch out for. In terms of men's doubles, they are roping in Tang Chun Man from mixed doubles to perhaps play some scratch pair. So Hong Kong is definitely a strong challenger for Malaysia from Group D. So having said all that, at the end of the day, who would be my picks for this Thomas Cup? I would list 3 teams. Firstly, definitely is Indonesia. Very strong men's singles, 3 strong men's singles, potentially 4, and also 3 strong men's doubles. So my top pick would be Indonesia. And also Denmark, 3 strong men's singles and perhaps 1 strong men's doubles. And also China, definitely 3 or even 4 strong men's singles and 3 strong men's doubles. So China and Indonesia, I would group them to be the number 1 and number 2. Denmark would be at the number 3, but I'll never rule out the teams of the likes of India and even Chinese Taipei, who can also mount a serious challenge to Thomas Cup simply because of their strong men's singles field. So that is all for me. Let me know your comments down below, and I see you in the next video. Thank you.